Hello everybody, it's Bleubies Games. Welcome back to my channel. I am super excited to be here with you today because I am playing one of my favorite games. I am playing Stardew Valley, which I have played many times before, but I have never actually played on mobile. So I figured it could be super fun to go ahead and play some Stardew Valley together. But first I want to go ahead and talk about the phone we're going to be using. It is the new OnePlus 11. I am so excited to show this to you guys. This OnePlus actually has a HyperBoost gaming system. But without further ado, let's just go ahead and jump right into it. So as you can see, I'm just screen recording directly from my OnePlus, but if you swipe down on the screen, you can actually bring up that HyperBoost gaming engine I was talking about earlier, and I do this every time I play a new mobile game on my OnePlus. Especially if I'm recording gameplay, I like to make sure that my game is performing at the maximum frames per second. You can even go into the GPU settings and check that out. But once I've got all that settled in, I'm going to go ahead and start a new game. I'm going to say no to the tutorial tips because I've already played this game quite a lot. Right off the bat, and this has nothing to do with me or the game, I have such a hard time typing with acrylic nails on, and I think that mobile gaming is difficult for me for that reason. Like, look, I'm trying to type in my name and the name of my farm, and I'm just struggling so much. But as always, when I start a new Stardew Valley save, I always say my favorite thing is Stardew Valley, A, because it's true, B, because it does give you fun, unique dialogue when you eat a star drop later. And of course, the next most important thing is to choose whether I'm gonna have a cat or a dog, and for me, there's never any choice, it's always a cat. But I've never picked this orange cat, and I'm gonna pick this orange cat this time. And I'm actually quite familiar with the character customization on Stardew Valley, so I know exactly which hair I want, which outfit I want. I'm actually going to give my farmer cute little space buns. I think I'm going to make them purple. And I'm definitely going to collect cuter clothes as we go along, but I'm going to start out with this heart shirt and this very cute skirt. Adjust the colors a bit so she has like purple eyes, purple hair, you know, maybe a pink skirt. And I honestly think that's a pretty good starter outfit so far for my Stardew Valley character. I will say I'm really enjoying being able to see the cursor on the screen. Which is so funny because first of all, Grandpa in his cot, I think on PC there's a mod to get him a better bed, but I don't think you can do mods on mobile. But you can literally start to see me tap the screen so much because I was trying to skip this scene, but he literally tells me right after he hands me this envelope, he's like, I want you to have the sacred envelope. Also, be patient. Like, have patience. He called me out. And as we start the game, I'm actually kind of excited to see how my experience playing the mobile version is different from the PC version, because to be honest, it seems very similar already. But honestly, right off the bat, I'm not gonna lie, when I first saw this layout, like the inventory bar on the side with the tools stacked vertically and the menu on the right side, I was so confused. I had to take a second to figure it out. You can see me tapping around. I'm also not sure if this is something they added in an update or if it's just for the mobile version, but I find it so funny that you can cancel your quests. Like, you can just cancel that introduction quest that popped up. But as I'm figuring out the controls, I'm figuring out that I can just tap on things and I should be able to interact with them in the way that like clicking on them in the PC version would do the same. I'm not gonna lie, stepping outside of my farmhouse on day one is always a miserable experience because you know I am about to spend 8 days clearing my farm of all of these trees, rocks, fiber. And of course, I don't have that much energy yet, so I'm not even gonna get that much done today. So I think what I'm gonna focus on is just clearing out a little area in front of the farmhouse so that I can plant my parsnip seeds and fulfill my order for Mayor Lewis. I also figured out that if you click on like the rock or the stump or the tree or whatever, it'll automatically select the tool you need to use, which was super helpful for me because picking a tool from the sidebar and then tapping on the item was just taking too long. But time to plant these parsnips. We have a nice even 15, so we're gonna do 3 rows of 5. I don't have any fertilizer, and I really don't think it's worth using fertilizer on parsnips anyway, so I'm just gonna go ahead and plant these parsnips. I thought it was really cool that the entire grid of all of the plantable spots in the area pops up, because then you can tap on each square and it makes planting really easy. I do feel like they did a really good job of converting all of the PC controls over to this more mobile, hands-on layout, because playing with a mouse and keyboard or even like a Bluetooth controller for me feels so much more natural than tapping a screen. But now that my planting is done, I am gonna go ahead and head into town and see if I can't get a head start on some of those introductions. Of course, I have to pick up every single flower I see. These seasonal flowers make really good gifts in the early game when you can't really afford the better gifts. Almost everybody really likes the flowers, and I think there's a character later who I think loves all of the flowers that you can pick up seasonally. And in the early game, you should be selling a lot of resources, not fiber or like clay. I learned that the hard way. Not limited crafting resources. And I guess the first person we've met in this save is Sam. I actually really like Sam. In one of my multiplayer saves, I was going to romance Sam, but got distracted by Sebastian instead. If you know, you know. Stardew Valley does romance very well in that all of the characters have very charming traits about them, and they all have their own unique personalities. Like, I personally have never romanced Penny, but I know that she has a couple of exclusive furniture items if you do romance her. I low-key wish we could romance Gus, kind of just for the fun of it. And I will give you a tip. That man loves spaghetti. Such an easy gift to get him every time. He'll sell it right to you, you give it back to him. It's like buying the man a meal. Honestly, this early in the game, talking to everybody and meeting everybody is kind of a hassle. It's a little bit of a chore, especially because I'm not really good about memorizing the townies' schedules. I mean, I know that everybody goes to the saloon on Fridays, and that's usually my time to go in, get all the dialogue I've missed, talk to people, give them gifts if I haven't that week. But it's literally the first day of the entire game. So I'm just introducing myself to everybody. I really do like Caroline. However, I cannot stand Pierre. I know this is a commonly held opinion. I won't even say it's controversial. And don't get me wrong, I have nothing against businessmen. I have nothing against men working to support their families. However, what I do have a problem with is taking vegetables that I have grown personally in my garden and selling them for 5 times the price, and then telling the neighbors we all live with that you grew them yourself. First of all, why do they believe Pierre when he tells them that? Where is his garden? Where is his mythical gold star vegetable garden? But enough about Pierre. We're gonna move on to characters that I actually like, including Gunther. I really wish that Gunther had more to do and say in the story of Stardew Valley. I do know that Concerned Ape is releasing more updates. I mean, he's working on them even as we speak, if I'm correct. So maybe Gunther will have more to do. I do wish there are a couple of characters that I wish had more of a relationship with everybody and you could build relationship with them. Clint, I could do without. And if you like Clint, I'm so sorry. Emily's my girl. I don't quite know who I'm going to romance in this save yet. I usually kind of let it take me by surprise. I kind of go with whatever I'm feeling when we get to the point of romance, because again, early in the game, it takes so long to build relationships with people. We just met Maru, and I remember in my first playthrough, I don't even think I built a full relationship with Maru enough to see her special cutscene, which is really very cool. Like, I think I was on year 5 and I hadn't gotten to it, which is crazy. That's fully my bad. But on my next playthrough, I focused on befriending all of the characters. And I had missed out on some really beautiful character moments, some really beautiful scenes. I did forget that technically I can't, it's not possible for me to meet everybody today because Willie will not introduce himself until tomorrow, and then I think the wizard as well is another character that I can't introduce myself to yet. However, I've met the mayor, I've met Elliot, I've met most people. See, I say that, but then it's gonna be like 10. I'm gonna have like 15 left. But while I wander through Pelican Town, I think I will comment on the fact that A, I can still see my cursor, I really like that, but it seems that I can move in 2 different ways. I can either drag my character around like I'm doing right now, or I can tap on squares to move my character to that square. I think as of now, I prefer dragging. It feels more natural. Or maybe it's that I feel more involved, like I'm actively playing. But I also do keep running into furniture and trees, so maybe like I just ran into the door right there. But again, one thing I really like about the movement system in this game is that if you tap on a character, like I just tapped on Haley, it'll automatically like direct you to that character instead of you having to try to like catch their movement by continually standing in front of them. And of course we just met Haley. I might have to go down the romance route with Haley. I haven't done so before, but for now I'm just going to continue to introduce myself. I am looking for Shane right now. There he is. I knew he was going to be coming to the saloon since he just got off work. And Alex is here too. Perfect. I actually, in my first playthrough of Stardew Valley ever, I actually romanced Alex, broke up with him for Shane, and then realized that, like, don't get me wrong, I like Shane. I related to Shane. I felt very bad for him. But it was an interesting experience to go from Alex, who was so wholesome and upbeat, to Shane, who was living in my farmhouse and, well, if you've pursued the road, you know. There are actually a lot of tragic characters in Stardew Valley. Pam is definitely one of them, I would think. But a lot of these characters do get their happy ending. They get their character arc. They're actually made better from knowing the farmer, which I think is also part of why Stardew Valley is so charming. I'm also meeting George right now, and it's so funny. He was like, I bet it's so annoying having to meet people. And I'm like, yes, George, it is annoying. Let me check how many people I still have to meet. And it's only 7. So for day 1, we're actually making pretty good progress on all of the introductions. I'm looking for Harvey now, but his office is closed. So I'm gonna check out this park, and I do not see him. So as it's 7 p.m., I think I'm just gonna go ahead and head back to the farm, see if there's anything else I need to do. I do have these dandelions and these flowers that I am considering whether I need to sell or gift. But for now, I think I'm gonna go ahead and plant these 2 wild seeds that I found. It bothers me slightly that I don't have another seed to have even rows, but it'll just have to do for now. Right now, I'm just trying to decide whether I should sell these flowers or whether I should keep them to gift to the residents of Pelican Town. They do make good gifts. However, I can also buy gifts with money. And I do only have 500 gold right now. So I think I'm just gonna go ahead and sell all of the flowers. They'll regrow. I can collect more. And it's 7:40 p.m., but we still have some energy left. So you know what that means. You got some energy, it's time to do some chopping down of trees. It's time to mine some rocks. It is time to split some logs. You have energy to stand, you have energy to landscape. And right now, I need this farm as clear as possible. Literally, one of the secrets to clearing your farm as fast as you can is to use all of your energy until the end of the day, right before you hit the exhausted point. But once you are about to hit the exhausted point, like 9:40 is a really good time on the first day. You don't have that much energy. It's a great time to go to bed. And as we wrap up our first day, let's rack it up. 130 gold is not bad for day one. Like, I just increased my net worth by over 20%, if my math is right. You can check me on that. But I surprisingly really enjoyed playing this on mobile more than I thought I would. It didn't lag at all, and it honestly looks identical to the PC version. I think I would want to try playing Stardew Valley mobile with maybe like a mobile Bluetooth controller. Maybe see how that feels. But I really hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Stardew Valley as much as I did. If you guys want to see more mobile Stardew Valley content, let me know. I cannot imagine that the mines are going to be doable. But we'll see. Happy gaming.